Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. The new season is here, and it is looking good and bad. Volibear right now is in an awful state and we are going to do something about it. In this game, there is one thing for sure. I really don't know what to build or how to proceed. But, and that is a big but, we have our own strategy that has been working fine. Our plan is the same as always. We mess with our opponent so that he makes bad plays, and we capitalize on his mistakes. Simple, reasonable, and easy to apply. You know what? Let them get my blue side. I'll simply start an Evelyn top side. One thing that is very effective against her is to ward the camps, not the paths. With this, you can get at least some information on her location, and do some counter-jungling to delay her mid-game power spike. I think this is going to be a disaster. Hopefully no one on the enemy team was paying attention to the mini-map. Based on the movements of LeBlanc and Gangplank, I feel we are in the clear. Let's do what we do best and leave this awkward position. All right. Mission accomplished, we get 2 camps, and on top of that we didn't die doing so. From this time forward we will only start in the enemy side unless we get chased out, and even in that situation we will try to fight and kill the enemy. I found out to be in a winning position, you should be already winning mentally over your opponent, and to do so, you should establish your dominance or die trying.
Hello there.
Oh well. It must feel pretty bad being you. Evelyn now is forced to make a risky play. There is nothing for her to farm except Gromp, and that thing is way tanky and time-consuming. Among the options she has, she will either gank top side, gank mid lane, come fight me over my blue buff, or go to my 2 camps and accept defeat. In every situation that I provided, we are already winning because we are passively controlling the enemy. Me on the other side, I am free to either double down and keep counter-jungling, or chase her over the map and counter-gank. Whatever I do, it is the embodiment of jungle diff. I should congrats my bot duo, they didn't wait for me. Since topside is winning, I decided to help them instead and have a peaceful early game. But they said, no. Even though I matched the scuttle spawn with my counter-jungling. Well, actually, it was misfortune that ruined it. If you play a character with reduced mobility, you should act accordingly and stay in your designated area until assistance is on site. After a second thought, we will ignore completely that lane and focus on the solo laner. Twisted Fate didn't die, and my top side is doing fine. I might gank the bot side after I reach my level 6, but before that, we need to install some insurance to win this game. I won't stress much on that, but he was 100% dead. Might as well lead them to me and give me a better engage. Well, whatever, let's move on. Hello, beautiful. Hey guys, I don't think you realize what are those. If we go back a few years ago, there was an item called RIOT. That item costs 2,700 gold and spawns periodically voidlings that help you push the wave. Now with this season, you can get this item for free. You simply have to fight for it. They might have tweaked a bit its mechanic, but pretty much it is the same concept, simply itched directly into your champion. I really like where this is going, and we need to master perfectly the use of these bad boys. I don't know if the enemy knows that I got each one of them separately, or they get the notification when they are all dead. But one thing for sure, that guy is either autofill or my early game invade really hit him deep in his soul. As a jungler, you should be the backbone for your team. Nothing phases you, and everyone must know their place. If someone makes a good play, you are obliged to reward them verbally and financially, and if someone does the opposite completely, well, you can go easy on them and flame constructively or simply mute them since they will waste your time. But one thing for sure, tilting is not an option or even an after idea. You are stoic, unflinching, and fun, driven to ensure a satisfying win. This kind of disrespect is normal in your daily games because LeBlanc knows that my champion is a moving rock. But what she doesn't know that I am not your average player, I can calculate her damage and deduce that she can't one-shot me. Hence, I'll be the best bait that there is for my Twisted Fate comeback. Damn. She got snatched. I need to make sure that everyone is having a proper diet on my team. So far, the game is going smoothly into our favor. My earlier invade made sure to affect Evelyn subconsciously and make her farm, and as you can see, she didn't gank much. Us, on the other hand, we did multiple ganks and we got one major objective. Let's see what more can we do before we base and get some items. Poor Gangplank. No mana, and he is in a bad position. This is the best time to dive. Our worst-case scenario will be a 2v2. But fear not, as long as we execute the plan properly, everything will be okay. I don't think that Riot made Volibear invisible for allies. My Urgot is chilling and he fails to realize that we are wasting precious time. I have a feeling that he can kill him without my help. But the issue with most Emerald players is that they don't like to take risk. Well, let's teach him a lesson, and hopefully we will motivate him to be a better version of his current self. Even though you pissed me off by not pushing the wave, that looked really cool. You pass as our top G of this game for now. While we are performing great deeds in this game, this player decided to drop the jungle diff on us for no particular reason. Maybe because they made a choice, and they can't live with it. A good jungler would not let these mere words affect him. On the contrary, he will reverse the ties on the one uttering such useless facts and simply leave the scene. Oh, I almost forgot. We are going for a different approach regarding our build. After reading a bit in the patch notes, I noticed something odd. Hullbreaker now procs on champions, monster, and structures. This is broken in my opinion, and you don't lose the bonus resistances while near other champions. This item now is the better version of Banner of Command, since it gives the stats with no cooldown on minions. We will try to make Volibear work with this item as our first buy and decide from there on what to do. I thought based on the trailer that these guys are impossible to kill by yourself, but it seems they are free as long there is no fight over the pit. That fight started properly but ended into a disaster. I think Volibear is a counter to all the champions with the double technique since your mark doesn't replicate on the clone. I remember this was a thing pre-rework since your majestic roar could fear pets and clones. Sadly, my team are either middle-aged men that are tired from a long day at work like me, or new young teens that don't have the accumulated knowledge of years of patches in their mind. My boat side decided to start Drake out of a whim against a fed Ezreal. I don't think that is a smart call. The sad part about this is that I don't have my smite. I think this will not end well. This is the price that you should pay when you rush damage over tankiness. I am not saying that I would have survived. I just meant that when I'll die as a tank it wouldn't feel as bad as it is now. No more fooling around. We are going for the serious mode right now. My mid laner is having the Evelynn treatment. The power of this champion is psychological since your carry is more likely to get tilted after 2 ganks. We shouldn't let trivial matter as this affect our mental prowess. We will stick to our plan. We build Hullbreaker, play around our top G and mid laner, then we take Herald buff and make a power play. Anything else is a strategical maneuver to achieve the previous objectives. Shit. I was distracted. I was planning to push his face in. Well, whatever, now that we are spotted, might as well take the Herald buff since Evelynn is on the other side of the map. In the new season spotlight, they highlighted that you can steer the Herald and ride the Rift with it. I really hope it is easy to use as it seems in the trailer. I salute this twisted fate. Everyone ganked his lane, yet he is still playing aggressive. I have a feeling that he is our win condition, and I should create for him an opportunity to play as he pleases. Let's see how this works. Mid-tower is almost gone. I think if you crash the Herald onto the tower, it will spawn those small thingies. Let's find out how this will end. No comment. Herald run out of juice before reaching the climax. I think I didn't use it properly. Thankfully, this is our first game in this season, and we will find out what can we do with Sir Herald. They look very awkward. They look like something out of a kid horror movie. Well, as long as they do what they meant to do, it is fine. The good news is, we finished our first item. We are 6 minutes behind our optimal normal time acquisition of it. The good thing about this item is that it is 120% gold efficient, meaning without its passive, you are making a good buy only based on the total stats. Pretty neat if you ask me. This is a very bad call, because I don't have my smite and my team are not grouped. The only good thing is that we have priority over the objective. We might make it work if the enemy team chase misfortune. I might not have smite, but I can produce around 900 damage if I land my spells in the correct order. The current issue with Volibear, in my humble opinion, is that Stormbringer takes a lot of time in its animation. The same goes for Sky Splitter. Thankfully, this Twisted Fate have great common sense. Not everyone will take teleport on this champion. Based on my experience, they go for Ignite or Exhaust or Ghost for outplay potential. Dear Pike, I suggest to take 2 steps away and keep your distance before I give you the hula hula treatment. Now that we have our beloved Hullbreaker, we can push and take towers easily. This is a risky position, but with Ghost we can outrun the enemy if they decide to chase us. Damn, I think I pissed a lot of people in this game. They didn't save anything to kill me. Well, I'll be back and we will see how you guys will deal with me. We will be going for the Gojo Satoru build with Sterax Gauge and Wit's End. My goal is to be the best at almost everything, dueling, engaging, and split pushing. I still have a secret technique in my bag that I will use when I don't take teleport, and we might get to see it in this game in action. Remember, this is the start of the season. This is the perfect time to test everything that you have in your mind. I found out that copying others will only kill your fun concept to gain some LP and have good win rate. Don't mistake my words saying I don't want to have also good win rate and climb, but I want to do it my way and enjoy it the way I see fit. I think I did a mistake. If I finished my jungle item and killed the red buff, it would have been shared with my whole team. RIP. Better luck next time. They killed me thinking I would repent or something. Well, you only enforce my convictions. I'll make sure you guys have a thorn in your back. If you recall, I got all the new grubs or voidlings that is total of 6. We got the Hullbreaker and a free lane. In other words, this is the pain train coming to get your base. I guess my revenge arc must be halted a bit. This gangplank is keeping tabs on me. I might be able to kill him 1v1 once I get my Sterax Gauge, but for now I'll just be playing with fire if I face him. This is a Baron angle. The enemy team are scattered all over the map. My true plan is to set up a good fight for my team to push our lead. But look, this is your average teammate, clueless, useless, and constantly in need assistance to play the game. Half of its health is gone, and without two of our main dealing champions. This what I mean that the 20 minutes Baron is your focal objective in this game. Whether you're winning or losing, you should take it at spawn. Finally, my team decided to group, now that I realized we are a team full of immobile champion, or our mobility is not that great. The other team, on the other hand, each have a broken spell or gimmicks that gives them a huge terrain advantage. Oddly, we are doing fine so far against them. She just flew from across the screen. LeBlanc a kiss wouldn't do it. Get over here. Have you ever had that feeling, no matter what you will build, the enemy champion will break your face? Well, in that situation, I suggest you go full damage with no regard for staying alive. But not this game. In this one, we are going for the split push build. This looks free. I didn't see Evelyn in a while now. Maybe she isn't considering me a threat and focusing on my carries. And that is good for us. We are the sleeper carry. 15 minutes of passive actions until we surprise the enemy with a flank, or simply backdoor and end the game. I know now where that confidence is coming from. You are one of those guys that press one button to win the game. I call it the one neuron syndrome. In other words, I can't ask more of them except of using their ultimate ability. You might have noticed by now, I only go back to buy when I have the full item. The main reason behind this is the small components are simply useless. I prefer to stay in the map and optimize my use of the champion and its ability with what I have, and keep the tempo and pressure, instead of backing every 2 minutes to buy insignificant increase in stats. That site is beautiful. One more item to go, and we reach the climax stage. You might wonder, why this build? Well, the answer is simple. The new Volibear is a weird champion. Your Q gives attack damage and movement speed. Your bite scales on health and damage, and your E spell is purely ability power. And your ultimate is all of that in one. In other words, Volibear is designed to be a boss-level champion. You have everything, and you are good at nothing in particular except diving. And to top it all, the designer wanted the old Volibear to be new players friendly. You see what I mean? Volibear suffers from the success of greatness before starting to play the game. Sad life indeed. The team are turning this game into ARAM mode. I need to control the flow of the game. I would love to have the support with me to set up the vision for any future play. But our support this game is Galio. I guess he is the real rock of this game. One of the things to make the game easier is to always push the mid-wave so that the map is opened, for us to make offensive plays around the opponent's buffs. This is League way of Russian roulette. Let's group mid and see who will make the first mistake. I really want to leave and split push, but Twisted Fate is a more suitable candidate for that at this instance, since he can reveal the map and simply dip out of there in seconds. Patience is a virtue, and as a bear we have plenty of that. My time will come where I can freely roam the map. There is a saying, when a bear attacks you, you should play dead. You are correct that playing dead during a bear attack is not always the best course of action. While it may work with some bear species, such as brown bears, it is generally not recommended with others, such as polar bears, predatory black bears, and humans playing Volibear in League of Legends. But if you are hiding under your tower, the bear might die out of overwhelming confidence. This went oddly good in our favor, and we managed to get some objectives in the process. I feel once I finish Wit's End, I'll transcend the realm of mere Volibear mains to Giga Chad Volibears. But this encounter with Eve made me consider buying Force of Nature to just make sure when I smack her, I last until the end of it. As my first game in this season, I am very satisfied. Even though everyone is broken, as long as I get my fair chance to display my own playstyle, I don't care much about anyone else. Except if you are untargetable, invisible, and Jonya's abuser, I am talking about all of you Akali mains. That is the perfect angle for misfortune. One route of escape and the enemy team is lined up there like a shawarma stick. Now I know what it feels like to be a bear in a zoo. All your delicious meals, only 1 inch away from you behind a wall or a thick glass. You should count yourself lucky. I would have leapt on your face in a second if I had my ultimate spell. It takes around 20 seconds to reach the Baron pit from base, and that is plenty of time to take the Baron buff and leave. The curse of knowledge can eat at your soul bit by bit when your team doesn't follow your calls or simply type bad call when they don't know what they are capable of. This is the misery of being a jungler. I would say the same, my dear Eve. The things I would do to you as well. Not tanky enough to pull that off, but it is fine. They spent quite the resources to avoid that engage, and that will enable my team to lead with a better one to seal this skirmish.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret.
That looked like it hurts. Wouldn't like to take one, and I am a beefy champion. This is the power of acquiring all of those void grubs. Your push power is insane. I'm sure that Riot will tune them down a bit and totally nerf them by the end of season. Based on my experience, Riot Games hate solo plays and encourage team. Hand-holding bot side, babysitting plays to enforce her esport events and sell skins. There is nothing better to have no skill, look good, and climb faster than the hard-working class of other roles. I know that the enemy team are doing the Baron buff. The odds of me taking it are slim to none. That is why I didn't hesitate to go bot side. There is a siege wave and the enemy have their hands full with super minions that will reach their base in a second. This is the best moment to pressure them and make sure that they will not utilize the buff to its full potential. In other words, nullify their play and even out the odds into our favor. I told you earlier, I am the sleeper carry. I'll stay in the shadows of your subconscious the whole game until I pull out my esoteric technique. I'm sure she didn't expect me out of all the players of this game to survive her burst and perform on her the Ricardo move. Perfectly executed. The only possible lane for the enemy to create a push to make a comeback is against them. The game now is totally into our favor. The only thing we need to make sure to do is to not mess it up. And that is a very common thing even in this ELO. Even though I know what I want to buy, everything looks tempting to try. I feel like my kid in the supermarket, incapable of picking one thing since everything looked delicious, knowing I'll regret buying it in the upcoming seconds. I am the big brother of all top laners. If you are in a pickle and I am nearby, be sure that I'll be there for you. Of course, this comes with a price. You don't have to be the perfect top laner, just don't feed like a pig and we are cool. There is no point in backing after taking 1 or 2 camps and I'll be as good as new. Look at him go. I simply helped him and now he got hyped. You deserve it. Go show them who is the big boss. We should be focusing our manpower into pushing bot side. The only one allowed to split is either Twisted Fate or Urgot, and I prefer it to be Twisted Fate. I think we are enjoying ourselves more than we should, and in situations like these that the game is lost in the most horrific way possible. I think this LeBlanc is one of those type of girls that like to be treated roughly. She chose my lane out of all 3 lines. Careful, dear. You might not like what you are asking for. Now that we have our 3rd item, we can say that we hit the jackpot. We literally are a walking truck. Can't be killed and can't be outrun, simply forward until we reach a dead end. I'll be a fool if I don't have an insurance at this stage of the game. I'll make sure to hold the enemy team on their toes and close this game. It is very risky to put all of our resources on this misfortune. Even myself will not invest all of my spells in the upcoming fight. I didn't even finish my words and that hag died a miserable death. Let's do what we can and hope for the best. Yes, your eyes are not fooling you. That was big chunk of 1000 damage to the inhibitor and we are not full damage. I think this a dream coming true. Let's hope no one in Riot team watch this video and go ahead and ruin the game. One of the best moments to set up a trap, the oldest trick in the game. Shit. Everyone got used to it. This is the 14th season of this game. Pardon me, not everyone. There are still new players that come and try League of Legends, and as the veterans must welcome them with every little dirty, sneaky trick in this old toxic game. What a waste of a good ultimate. If I was that twisted fate, I'll be so tilted. We really need to end this game. They have hyper carries and we have a bunch of champions that are only called champions because they run out of good ideas and made us for fun. Wow, that was very cool. It just took them 14 years to think of it. Let's not stress too much about it and enjoy it one game at a time. Yes, this is more like it. Looked good, felt nice, and we throw a pump fake juke in the middle. Definitely this is the grind build. We just need to perfect the order of items. They spent a lot of stuff on me, and here I am standing and gloating. Must feel bad being you. The enemy have nothing to counter a split push at this instance, meaning Twisted Fate got a VIP buffet invitation exclusive to his person with free drinks to everyone with him. Would be a waste if we all grouped to indulge the enemy in another team fight, while we have the upper hand. What were you saying earlier? Oh yes, I remember. Come on, touch me! These are bear paws if you didn't get the memo. They don't touch, they smack like there is no tomorrow. My dear viewers, this is the last play of this game. I really hope you enjoyed it. This is one of 5 more games. I hope the next ones are also this fun. Make sure to subscribe and leave me a comment. Thank you all for watching and have a nice rest of the day. Peace.